Today I'm taking a look at the HOFFREE office chair. So there's the material, very squishy, very leathery feeling, even has a nice leather looking texture on there. And we got the same thing for the back. So the one thing that I really like to see about this one right now is that this is a super tall back, which is important for me. I do not like having headrests that are a separate thing from the back. Having one nice tall single item is the way that I prefer my chairs. This is kind of neat. So they actually put the bolts in here pre-installed, so that way you don't have to go digging through a whole bag of screws to find what you need. Everything you need is going to be right where it's supposed to be. Here we got our base. It is even stamped front, so we know exactly which way this guy is supposed to go. Here is our arm. This does have the style that I prefer, that you can actually lift and get out of the way. That way if you're doing something with this, like, you know, maybe you're welding or something like that, and you need to have more range of motion, you can actually get these completely out of the way. Nice thick cushion right here for the armrest, and it looks like a very heavy duty piece of plastic right here to support it. They are color coordinated, so this one is going to go on the right. You probably will be able to tell that anyway just based on the mounting holes. So this is our base. So we got the middle bracket, and then we got our legs. We do have some screws, but they are actually partitioned out, so we don't have to worry about getting them all mixed up. Here we got our casters and our piston and our instructions. So it says the first thing we're going to do is construct a base using bolts M. One thing I like to see is that these bolts actually have teeth, so that when you lock these things down, you're not going to worry about them backing out. So the casters are a standard push style, so all I got to do is shove this guy in. Fairly large wheels, they spin nicely. Then we can drop the piston in, and that is the base. Now I can grab our bottom cushion. You can see it has an arrow here, so we know that this is the front. And I'll remove these 4 bolts. Now put our mount on, make sure the front is in the front, and put our bolts back in. Now there is a little bit of adjustability in here, not a lot, so if you need to move this thing forward or backward a little bit, you can do that with this guy. And lock that down. Now we can put our arms on. You can kind of see there are some pegs sticking out right here. And there's a well on these arms, so we want to take these wells and stick them over those pins. There you go. So you should be able to feel it, and then the bolts will just kind of drop in. Now the key to putting together a chair like this is that we do not tighten these bolts all the way down. Going to put a few threads on it. I want to leave some slop in it, that way we got room for the backrest. These bolts are labeled J, and it's going to be J for the backrest as well. So what that means is that all these bolts are just extras. Now if you want to, you can use these chrome ones, or you can use these black ones that have the Loctite. It's going to be up to you. Probably a good idea to use the Loctite ones just because there's less of a chance that they're going to back out. But it's very nice that they gave you plenty. You don't have to worry about losing anything. Now I'm just going to line up those pins with the arm. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Once we got that final bolt tightened in, so there's going to be 4 for each arm, then we can tighten them all up because we are fully assembled. Then we can drop the base on. And if we want to, we can take these caps and we can push those into these holes, just to give it a slightly more professional look. So we are assembled. We got plenty of bolts left over. These are going to be for putting the mount onto the base. So if you don't want to have the chrome look on the bottom, we can use those, but I don't think that really matters that much. I love seeing that we got plenty of bolts left over though, because I have a tendency to lose these things, and having extras is always handy. So very nice design on this thing. Really like the way that that looks. Nice thick cushioning on here. We got this little bag on the side, and that is for this little pump. That pump is going to fill up a bladder right here, so that is going to be our lumbar support. So all we got to do is squeeze on that guy. You can kind of see it pulling out. I can definitely feel it pulling out, but that way if you need that extra little bit of support on your back, you're going to be able to get that from this. That is nice and solid too. So there's a little release button right here. If we press that, that will release the air from that bladder. Whenever you're done with it, just take it, drop it in that pocket so you can easily get to it. We also got this lever down here. That way you can raise it and lower it if we want. It also pulls in and out. If you have it out, that is going to allow the chair to rock backward or forward. If we push it in, that is going to lock it back so it is straight up. We also have this tensioner right here. So if you want this out, we want it to be able to rock, but we also are a larger person, and we want to increase the tension on that so it doesn't just fall backward on us. We can increase that right here. We got a real nice look to that thing. Love that these arms can actually go up and down, and that feels pretty darn nice. Like, for a wide person, I can actually sit in between these armrests. Even if I was larger than myself, I could pull those things out of the way. It wouldn't even matter. It has a pretty good tension on it right now if I need to lean back. And then if I lock that lever in, then that is now locked. Fairly wide chair. Feels nice for the support. And overall, just pretty comfortable. Like, I could definitely see myself taking a late nap with this guy. So yeah, I'm happy with that. That is a nice chair.